Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ET Considers Everything podcast for Monday, August 1st, 2016. On this edition, I'll be taking a look at several of the sports stories that took place over the weekend. So, without further ado, let's get going with this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. First, let's talk about NFL news headlines that has taken place over the weekend. DeAndre Hopkins was holding out with the Houston Texans, but yesterday he did decide to show up to Houston Texans training camp and is no longer holding out with the Houston Texans. That's big news there for the Houston Texans. He's their number one receiver. He was holding out because he was trying to get a new contract, but he has decided to show up and will probably pursue a new contract after this season coming up. Also, news out of Pittsburgh this morning is that Antonio Brown is looking for a new contract as well. He is in year 5 of 6 of his rookie contract that he got coming into the NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers have said that they will not renegotiate his contract, but Antonio Brown is looking for more money, so they may try to come up with a deal where he gets more money this year and will renegotiate his contract for a new one coming up next season. So big time news there for two of the top wide receivers in the NFL, DeAndre Hopkins and Antonio Brown. MLB news this morning. We had several trades yesterday on the eve of the trade deadline, which is today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We had Andrew Miller going from the New York Yankees to the Cleveland Indians for several prospects. We also had Tyler Clippard going from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the New York Yankees for 2 prospects. And we had starting pitcher Wade Miley traded from the Seattle Mariners to the Baltimore Orioles. So several big moves there in the MLB trade deadline, and it will happen today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's going to be interesting to see if any more moves are made by the top contenders in the MLB as we move down the final 2 months of the Major League Baseball season going into October. NBA news this morning. The Rio de Janeiro Olympics begin this Friday with the opening ceremonies, and the Olympic basketball tournament will begin next week. Carmelo Anthony, Kyrie Irving, Kyle Lowry, and DeMar DeRozan are several of the big name stars that are on the team, along with Kevin Durant. They made their flight from LA to Rio de Janeiro yesterday, so they are safe and sound in Rio de Janeiro this morning. And now they begin their preparations for the 2016 Olympic basketball tournament. They're trying to win their 3rd straight gold medal. I hope Team USA can pull it off, and no doubt about it, it's going to be a great basketball tournament with all the great nations in the world. But Team USA, they have proven to be the basketball commodity of the world, and they can pull it off one more time. So we'll see what happens coming up, no doubt. Golf news this morning. Jimmy Walker wins the 98th PGA Championship at Baltimore, shooting a final round 67. It was bogey-free. He had 3 birdies on the back 9 holes. Jason Day eagled the final hole for a 3, but came up 1 shot short to Jimmy Walker. This is Jimmy Walker's first ever major championship victory. And for the first time in several years, all 4 major winners are first-time major winners on the PGA Tour this season. Danny Willett won the Masters, Dustin Johnson won the U.S. Open, Henrik Stenson won the Open Championship, and we had Jimmy Walker winning the PGA Championship. So big-time news there for Jimmy Walker, and probably his biggest win to date on the PGA Tour, and in a major to boot, no doubt. Soccer news this morning. We had several games in the International Champions Cup over the weekend that took place. Real Madrid defeated Chelsea 3-2 on Saturday at Michigan Stadium. Bayern Munich defeated Inter Milan 4-1 at Charlotte's Bank of America Stadium. We had Liverpool defeat Chelsea 1-0 at the Rose Bowl. And those were the major games that took place over the weekend in the International Champions Cup, along with Barcelona defeating Celtic Athletic Club 1-0 in Dublin, Ireland. So several big soccer games taking place over the weekend in the International Champions Cup. And we're also coming down towards the end of the season in the MLS. The MLS transfer deadline was yesterday. We're coming up on the end of the season there. With only 3 weeks left, teams are positioning themselves to make the playoffs. Those include the LA Galaxy, the Portland Timbers, and the Houston Dynamo in the West. We also have DC United, the New York Red Bulls, and the New York City Football Club in the East. So, big time soccer news there over the weekend. In tennis news yesterday, Simona Halep won the WTA Rogers Cup in Toronto, defeating Madison Keys in straight sets, and we also had Novak Djokovic defeat Kai Nishikori in straight sets in the ATP Rogers Cup. So several big tennis tournaments coming up before the Olympic Games. That was one of the big ones. The ATP Rogers Cup in Toronto is very prestigious, and now all the tennis players will be looking forward to the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, trying to win a gold medal for their respective country, or even just medal in the Olympic competition. That would be big for them, no doubt. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race was rained out at Pocono yesterday, so they will start the race today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's going to be very interesting to see who wins that. Martin Truex Jr. will start on the pole, but my favorite to win the race today is probably Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart has had a good history at Pocono, and we have several other drivers that are good there as well, including Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Brad Keselowski, and several others. So it's going to be fun to see who comes out on top of the race today. We'll just have to wait and see. Coverage of the race begins at 11 a.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network. And with that, that's going to do it for this edition of the ET Considers Everything podcast for Monday, August 1st, 2016. If y'all don't mind, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, I'll keep you posted on sports news as I get them across my tablet. For now, this is ET Eric Tyler Mullins reporting from Pound, Virginia. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Later.